that yes, it's a good thing to have a vision. It could be a very necessary thing, but because of the politically charged environment currently, probably this, the quality of conversation is not ideal.
Firstly, allow me to give fact to some fiction, to shed light on some propaganda. I was there on the conversation on the future of Kenya beyond Vision 2030 yesterday. I saw Alionya, she was there. The president did not say we do not need a constitution. He said, and that's why context is important, he said that previously when Vision 2030 was being drafted, the constitution, it wasn't anchored in law, and the constitution did not require then that the government engages in public participation. But now we are privileged to have a new constitution. You know, "our" and "our" can sound the same depending on where you come from. To have a new constitution that does not require us to consult the people. It mandates us to do that. So I hope we get that clear and we do our research and have facts. Secondly, we might be biased, but factually, there's no problem I've had that people are ascribing to this regime that is unique to this regime. There's some problems that are systemic and perennial that cut across regimes. For example, young people dying in protest, which is very unfortunate. It's happened in every single regime. At least with this regime, we've seen steps towards police reforms to try end this problem once and for all. And lastly, the president is not recommending a solution. First and foremost, Anyang' Nyong'o and the Japanese professor did some diagnosis to try get to the root cause of why we did not achieve some targets with Vision 2030. And that's part of the reason why they're opening up this conversation to every Kenyan, regardless of your tribe, your religion, your political affiliation, to come together and to contribute towards curating and ideating the future for ourselves and for our kids. However, it's a conversation that is largely around how we should leapfrog from developing to developed status. And I know there's skepticism around, or even pessimism, but my call to young people is to tell them that we're all stakeholders to this great nation, and we should all come together and contribute to this vision. And it's not the first time this is happening. Post-independent Kenya, we had Tomboya and Mwai Kibaki come up with the sessional paper number 10 that laid the foundational economic blueprint for our new nation. Later on, as we've all said, we had Vision 2030 that has largely made significant gains on the political and social area, as well as, to a large extent, strengthen and expand our economy. But now that it's coming to an end, it's natural for us to talk about what next. We haven't given a solution. We are saying, let's come together and cumulatively and jointly as stakeholders to this great nation, think about what next. And I'll close by giving an example. When we say we want to be like Singapore, it does not mean that we want to copy them on every indicator, no. It's an aspiration. I used to be a footballer, and growing up, I used to look up to Messi, the GOAT. And I used to have his image on my bedroom. When I wake up, I look up to him because I wanted to play professional football. It's the same. Singapore itself was benchmarking in the 60s with Israel to find out how does this small nation without arable land, without natural resource, be able to feed its people and export food to the world. It benchmarked with Switzerland to find out how another small nation without resources is able to attract global capital. And as we speak now, they had their own developmental blueprint that enabled it to move from a small fishing village to now one of the most industrialized nations in the world that exports refined oil, even though they don't have any oil deposits. That's the conversations we should be having about our future as Kenya.
And I now want to ask a question away from politics to young Kenyans. I'm looking at you as just young Kenyans, probably the ones who are expected to drive this